Hey, this is Kelly Janae with Ethereal Ecology and Lido. Say hi, Lido. I wanted to talk today about some thoughts and emotions I've been going through lately in this summer season. And I want to talk specifically from the framework of what is called the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is a Native American way of life. It is a way of living. It is seeing our lives and all life in cycles of the 4 directions. Well, there's 7 directions, at least in the tradition that I followed, but the 4 directions, the cardinal directions, east, south, west, and north. And each of those directions reflects a different sort of theme or transition or phase in your life that you're going through, and they coincide with the seasons. And the east is the summer, and it is summer. It is the end of July, and I've found that there's patterns emerging for me every summer, and especially this summer, things are becoming kind of clear to me. I'm gonna let Lido in. It's raining. Go. And I've been working with the medicine wheel for 13 months now with a Blackfoot elder, and so I'm not native or anything. I do not claim to know everything about the medicine wheel, and in fact the work that I've done with her has been specifically created for Westerners to understand the medicine wheel from that kind of perspective, whereas people who are native they just already live that way. So for me, I've been working through each direction for 3 months. And I'm in the time of summer, the time of the east, the time of new beginnings, the place of eagle and hawk and great vision, and knowing when to be pushed out of your nest so that you can fly and start anew. But this summer, as I am realizing, I'm having a lot of difficulty meditating. Now, I meditate every night, okay? Typically. And I'm realizing that this is a theme that's been coming up in my life, that it's been difficult for me to focus on meditation in the summer. And, I just thought to myself, okay, that's got to be something spiritual, it's got to be something physical, with how my body's being affected by the heat, by the moisture, all of these things. But the problem is, when I don't meditate, I don't touch base with my emotions. I don't investigate. And even when I am meditating in the summer, I can't seem to go deeper. And on the surface it's like I want to, but then I'm resisting in some way. So I've been feeling like lately I've been very passive aggressive and kind of reverting back to certain patterns that I would have before I've done like all my Buddhist work and love and compassion and being a good person and non-judgmental nature and all that kind of stuff. I've kind of been slacking on it and being a little bit weak in these areas that I'm usually very strong in, controlling. And yesterday I did some yin yoga that sort of brought up some emotions within me that I think are very important to realize. And so today I was just feeling like, wow, I need to feel something because there's something inside of me that needs to be let out. And I went on a walk, I went down by the river, and it's raining, it's like the perfect time to feel your emotions. Went down by the river and just stood by myself for a little while and stood in the rain and pondered and just felt like what it is that I'm feeling. And I sort of felt like I had a revelation. I had a revelation that is directly related to the medicine wheel and a way that I can move forward through it. So for the last, 4 summers, I realized that a pattern emerged that I was moving forward or had this expectation of moving forward through the summer. So I went to college, and over the summer everyone's like, I got my internships and doing this research, I'm traveling. Everyone is sort of advancing in their professional development and their personal development. And I am an advancer, I'm an achiever, always and forever. So of course I want to do the same and honestly want to do better than everyone else, which I'm still trying to get over. Are you not good enough for yourself, Kelly? Questions. But I realized that there's a pattern from college. Basically, after freshman year summer was fine. And I think that's because I didn't feel so pressured to be the best of the best or anything. Oh no, actually, wow, revelation. Okay, so here's the pattern. The pattern is I had intended on moving forward and made every step to move forward, but then when the time came, either it fell through or like I reverted back to old patterns. So freshman year, after school, I actually tried to get it. I got a research job with this institute at UNC Charlotte, and it was going well and I had it all figured out, but then basically they could not get funding for this one piece of equipment, and so I couldn't do any research with them. And so I spent the summer making art and reading books on the flower of life and like being, educating myself in other ways. But I guess that was kind of annoying. The next summer I got a freaking internship to Costa Rica where they were going to pay me like $7,500 to go down there and do my own independent research with the National Science Foundation. As a sophomore, it was a really competitive process and I got it, but what happened was they never actually set me up with anywhere to stay, and by the time I got there I had no money, had nowhere to stay, and it was like one of the most stressful experiences. And even though I was about 2.5 weeks in with my research, I ended up like twisting my ankle and being so stressed out to the point where I quit and I came home. Because another person quit too, who traveled in Spain for 10 months and wasn't able to deal with it either. So I quit and I came home, and it was humiliating for me because everyone knew that I was going to do this amazing thing, and then I had to come home and do research every three days a week for the rest of the summer with a professor, and it's just really embarrassing to have to do that, and that traumatized me for a long time. The summer after that is the summer after I started being on, the summer before I started being on prescription medication for bipolar disorder, and I had a lot of advances in my mental health. There's a story called Reducing the Dosage that is going to be on my SoundCloud, so that'll give you more perspective on this. But this summer I went from being like super happy, super fine, and then immediately, like when summer hit, I started having the worst bipolar episodes ever, like going from completely manic to completely depressed all over the place, unable to control it. So kind of reverted, thought I was doing better, and then went completely in the opposite direction. And then the summer after college, I had a terrible experience with my now ex, who took a lot of my life away from me, like energetically, and it really messed up some relationships in my family. I spent all this energy on somebody who wasn't worth it. And I'm realizing now that this pattern is that I feel like I'm spending energy on things that don't come to fruition. And it's ironic that in the time of the summer, there's these moments of new beginnings that are just seeming to fall through and actually are teaching me a lesson in the opposite direction of like death and of failure in a way. Much of which is not my doing. Much of which is not in my, none of that was in my control. Absolutely none of those things was in my control, but I did have the control to deal with it and to be flexible and not to, buckle under pressure and completely just give up on life and on everything I was doing. I just kept going. And this summer I'm doing, fairly well. I'm working again. I'm getting things ready and going, but I haven't tapped in yet into the trauma of my last 4 years of summer. Or I guess 5 years, because last year was summer and I was in my corporate job, and oh my God, I was doing so well for a year, and then the end of the year hit and I started reverting and actually started getting off of my medication for bipolar disorder and completely started sucking at my job and got in trouble for it. Terrible time. Terrible. So geez, like 5 years of straight just traumatic, same thing, reverting. Thinking I'm starting anew, I'm like, I got so much momentum, and then nope, like 5 steps back. There's obviously a lesson to be learned here. I remember, and I'm looking right now at this this nest that is on the ground in front of me. And it was right above my door. And I remember one day, very recently, I was looking up and I heard these chirps and I was like, oh my gosh, there's baby birds. I could see their little heads and I was so happy. And I was having a great day. And then I was about to leave to go to the gym and I'm walking out my back door and on the ground are 3 dead baby birds. The same birds that I was so happy to see alive just hours before. And it really threw me through a loop. And in that moment, I really worried about it. I really worried. I was like, am I gonna fail? Are all of my new beginnings just bull? Are they just going to completely disintegrate in the palm of my hand? And all this fear showed up, like death of my family members, and there's just these crazy things. And I got back that night, and the next day there were 2 more dead birds. And that's 5 dead birds. That's 5 dead birds, like 5 summers of freaking death and, oh my God, of like 5 patterns recurring every summer in the place of new directions. And the place of new directions is the place of bird energy and knowing when it is okay to leave your nest and when you are ready to fly. These birds were not ready to fly. There was 5 of them, but this is the 6th summer. And right now, I'm simply moving through fears. None of this is manifesting. And summer's almost over. So earlier I was almost seeing this as like, oh no, like this summer. But no, I am breaking the patterns. The pattern is being broken. It is being broken. This freaking nest on the ground right here is complete proof of that. This is not my nest anymore. This is my nest. This is my nest. This year of 13 months of personal work with my elder, with myself, has paid off. All of the energy that I'm putting into my new job, all of the energy that I'm putting into ethereal ecology, I do not need to worry about failure. I do not need to worry about going backwards, because I know that even if something doesn't work, I could just change directions and try something else. To me, that means I'm on the right path, and it means I moved through the lesson of knowing that failure is one of the greatest successes, as long as you can see it as a blessing, and as long as you can learn from it. Wow. 5 birds on my doorstep telling me that my pattern is broken. Wow. Oh my God. I'm realizing that in the moment, and it is absolutely incredible. So you have just witnessed a revelation, and that is, oh gosh, like I'm so ready to move forward. I'm so ready to move forward, and I have vision quests, like an 8-day ceremony in September that's going to change my life, and wow. So there you go. There's a little bit of fun information about my life and tidbits about how helpful it is to have a framework to move through your life. This Native American medicine wheel has completely changed everything. It's allowed me to pinpoint where I'm at in my process, which is huge. It's like, are you at death or rebirth? Do you need to go introspective, extrospective, I guess that's a word. Do you need to be a child right now? Do you need to be a wise elder? What do you need? I have everything I need because I'm in tune. At least today. Wow. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, that's so nice of you to do. I can't wait to share more stories like this. You know, you can just move forward. You can always move forward, even if you're moving backwards. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's see what this is all about. Kind of go along the path, and just keep on going where spirit is leading me. Oh man, I love life. I love you. I love the universe, and I am so blessed to be able to make this video for you. Well, Hope you enjoy the rest of your summer or winter or fall or spring. Whatever season it is, just know that you are a part of Mother Earth. You are a part of the universe, and therefore what you see outside, what happens to you inside are one and the same. So pay